All right, I'm just going to give us a speed tour of the COGA site as it exists right now, with the hopes that help get everybody on the same page as well as kind of encapsulate it for me. So here we have the main page. Menu is controlled as you'd expect. This is the featured image of this particular page. We've got some three main navigational elements. I think most of the content here is real. We're just waiting for a video for this piece that I think is coming from Molly. In particular, these news items are just regular posts with the category news, and they show up there automatically. We can control how many, etc. These things right here show up. They're actually back there called facts, and they also show up based on using both the post type and the category facts. You can see them right here. They have a couple of little extra things going on. So you can write the name, the title piece, what's the body. You can give it an icon. You can also include a URL. I don't think those have URLs at the moment, but if we wanted to link to things, we could. You just have to include them and then update it. But that's where our facts live, and notice it has the category fact. Same thing with our posts, just to show you the news pieces. They're in the category news, and there are also other categories you can use, and we can make them show up in lots of different places. All right, so that's kind of the front page. The other thing worth noting about this page is just it's set up a couple different ways. One, I left the title blank because we don't need a title. You could put text there, but we don't really need it, and then it's kind of segmented up. That's intro text. Here's our navigation menu. Here's our other chunks, which are information panels. These are all repeatable and flippable. And then you can decide what shows up in different places. Like if you wanted more categories to show up in home news, you just have to check them and they'll show up. Same thing with facts. And that is that. All right, so now we'll go visit the site again. We'll move through a couple things. So we got participants here, which has its pieces. There's some things we can do kind of to build this out, but it's all right now. Researchers, this is kind of worth going into. Whether we want to keep these pieces separate or not, but we've got a map of the sites, and we also have this idea of like the sites as elements as well as the researchers as individuals. Let me show you how that works. So one, we'll open a couple sites. What it does is we could have like a summary of information about that site or lab. It's automatically going to show up the researchers for that location as well as whatever we're setting for the icon. Same thing goes on here. If we click to the individual person, you know, we can have bios and all that sort of stuff there. So that's set up. And if you look in the background, essentially we've got a researcher post type. Let's look at Danielle's. And then whatever we put in here and however we associate the sites and stuff, this is going to show up, including the bio. And then the featured image is what shows up. Basically the same thing with sites. Here we go. Thing, description, link, in this case to the university or to the lab or to wherever we want to do it. And then we're just using the location piece here. So those are those basic things. I think we talked about this before, but I started kind of separating out the genetics informational components. We only have one integrated at the moment, but that's that. We've got a contact form, which will take submissions and email it to whomever we want, as well as some of this written stuff. So that's where we sit at the moment.